Ever wonder what drives the best leaders? This podcast is your answer. Here at the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, we convene the best and brightest leaders in the transportation industry. We're going beyond the titles and resumes of these trailblazers to explore the real challenges in their climb to leadership. Bias, exclusion, pivotal moments that shaped their career. This is more than just inspiration. We're delivering actionable advice in about 15 minutes. This is Driven by COMTO. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Delia Gonçalves, VP of External Affairs here at COMTO. I'm also an award-winning journalist who switched careers after 24 years in TV news, crafting stories and interviewing everyone from celebrities, politicians, business leaders, and everyday residents. And today, I'm honored to be interviewing my boss, the president and CEO of COMTO, April Rye. Thank you so much for joining us, April.
Thank you, Delia. I'm so excited about this. I mean, you've created another space for us to hear from the COMTO family about the leaders behind these phenomenal organizations and agencies that are a part of the COMTO family. Thank you for setting this up.
Oh, absolutely. This has been in development. We've been thinking about it, and today we're actually recording it. Why are we here, and why is it important to offer a podcast, another platform for our brand of leadership?
You know, COMTO is an organization that is embedded in the communities that we serve. It's all about making sure transportation serves everyone. And there are some pretty great leaders behind the organizations who move that mission forward. So this is so important that people get to see who are the people behind these great leaders. I think we all have an outward persona when we do our work, but there's a human inside who's fueling that. And I think this is a really unique opportunity to kind of get to know these folks just a little bit deeper.
So, April, what drives you?
I have to say, what drives me is really the desire to do a little good. In my personal network, in the little world that I occupy, and then in the greater good. How can I do a little good? And that's something that it took me a minute to hone in on, that's really what motivates me. But doing good in my personal life and my professional life really, really motivates me to bring my best to whatever I do.
You have to be passionate about what you do.
I do.
A lot of folks wouldn't stay in what they're doing, right? Because it's hard. You're going to have challenges. Absolutely. You're going to have bad days. But it's that why. It's your personal purpose that kind of drives you.
Absolutely. I think it's so important to be connected to the work that you do. And there's a lot of things that motivate folks, and no shade to any of them. Some young folks say, I want the money. I'm motivated by the money. And that's fine. That comes with its own opportunities and challenges. I personally am motivated by the mission, the why behind what I do. If I don't connect with it, I've learned the hard way, it doesn't work for me. But when I'm connected to the mission, you don't have to tell me anything. I'm running before you can even tell me go.
It's not a hard sell.
Not at all.
Because you believe it.
Correct.
So I know the answer to this, but folks at home may not. So how would you describe your leadership style?
Hands down, servant leader. I really am driven by trying to support and empower others to be great. And, you know, that means modeling the behavior that I am looking for on my team. I would never ask a team member to do something that I have not already done or am not willing to do myself. So to me, that is real leadership, being ready to kind of roll those sleeves up and get in there.
As you think back on your career, April, and your trajectory to leadership, was there a watershed moment that you can identify, a fork in the road, that led you to this path?
Absolutely. I mean, I was born and raised in California, as many people know, in an area that relies on public transportation to get around. And we only had one working car in my house. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But for us to get anywhere, do anything, connect with anyone, we relied on the public transportation system. And so this work is deeply personal. And I don't know anybody out there who doesn't rely on people and goods moving efficiently for them to live their best life. So it's not difficult, not hard at all to be excited about the work that we do at COMTO.
Transportation really is the through line, right, to life.
100%.
Whether you're concerned about getting your kids to good education, getting a good job, a grocery store.
Or just seeing a loved one.
Right. But it really is about people.
At the end of the day.
And when you center it around people, then you really refocus your mission and your why.
Exactly right. And in every region of the country, and COMTO has 41 chapters across North America, that story is a little different. Whether it's an urban population or in a rural or even a tribal territory, people have to get around, and the way they do that depends on where they're trying to go, why, and how.
We are talking about working and developing leaders. And this is when I'm going to get a little personal. So as a Black woman in leadership, have you faced any bias, challenges that you've overcome, and how?
Yes, absolutely I have. I know you're shocked to hear that. And I wish I could share, a unique story, but I know in talking to so many colleagues that this is a story that they've all experienced. I have walked into rooms so many times where I was the only woman in the room, or the only person of color in the room, the only person who looked like me. And the assumption was I was a junior person, there to take the notes, there to take the minutes. And then when I walk up to give a keynote, folks might be a little confused until my preparation meets the opportunity. And
say that again.
The preparation met the opportunity.
Yes.
Then people were excited about what I had to say and how it developed a theme or how it supported an idea or maybe left them a little inspired. Being poised and being prepared changes the narrative. And I didn't have to utilize all my energy to change people's perceptions if I simply showed up authentically and prepared the way I always try to do and try to do a little good. That changes the narrative. And so that's something that a lot of my colleagues have faced and experienced, and we continue to rise above.
Be prepared. It reminds me of a chair's leadership chats that our board chair, Tanya Adams, just had with Charlotte Shaw. And she said something that I wrote down on my many sticky notes of inspiration that I have around my office and my desk. And it said, build your capabilities before you need them.
Absolutely.
So, okay, I'm going to challenge you for this next question.
Uh-oh.
Instead of an explanation, maybe just a one word or one phrase.
Okay.
Because I do believe that leaders are the best communicators. And you are among them, a wonderful communicator. And there's intention behind that. Great listener, self-aware, empathetic to others. And in that self-awareness, I'm sure you have already identified what I will now ask you, your greatest strength and greatest challenge.
So I would say my greatest strength is stakeholder engagement. I think the ability to connect with people and find synergies is something I really enjoy, because in the end, we are all people and we all have the same basic desires and needs. We want to be loved. We want to be safe. We want to connect with those who we care for. We want to be able to care for those we care for effectively and efficiently. And so trying to find those synergies among people who may be very different in their backgrounds and their experience is something that brings me joy, and I think something that I would call a strength. Now, on the opportunity side, there's a lot of them, but I would say that my biggest challenge is patience. Patience. I want to push progress, and that does take balance, because you can push progress, but you have to respect the complexities of the systems that you work within. And the time it takes to really build authentic relationships that can last. So patience is something I continue to work on.
I feel that coming from a very deadline-driven career, 24 years in TV news, where I was always kind of at like 100. What is the best career advice that you've received that you still implement today?
Best career advice I ever received is that there is no substitute for preparation. And that has proven true time and time again. And, I say this, but whether it's having a conversation with a mentee and just thinking ahead about that person and what I want to reflect to them, or giving a keynote speech. I mean, two spectrums, but preparation is still important. And it's never a bad thing to think ahead about what you're bringing to the table when you're invited to be a part of any meeting or any opportunity. I take it as an opportunity, and I always want to show up prepared. Best advice I ever received.
Worst advice?
Worst advice I ever received came from a very well-meaning colleague who told me that a lady should know her place. And I think what she really wanted to say to me was know how to show up and know how to be respectful when you show up. I think that would have been the better advice, but what she said to me was a lady should know her place. So I just think it's important for you to take things in context, but then apply it thoughtfully to yourself. And it doesn't mean somebody's out to get you. It just may mean in their experience and in their space and in their time, that's the best they could give. So that's the best she could give, and I heard it, and I've applied it in a way that works for me.
Applying it in a way that works for you. That is so powerful. So you don't leave that conversation feeling slighted or disappointed. You look at how can I may not absorb all of it, but what little nugget there could I still take and incorporate into my own career?
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, Rye, we're almost at the end of our podcast. Believe it or not, right? We could probably talk for another 10 minutes or so.
Absolutely.
But we want to keep this succinct and tight for everyone so they can walk away with these nuggets. And I'm so grateful that you shared some of your journey with us. What is one takeaway that you want folks to walk away with today?
I just want folks to get excited about the folks that you are going to be interviewing and see how great leaders use their influence to make things better for the people that they are responsible to and the people they're responsible for. I think people will be impressed about what they'll see.
All right, April Rye, thank you so much. If you like what you heard, follow Driven by COMTO so you can get your next dose of leadership lessons in about 15 minutes. You can follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, I'm Delia Gonçalves. Stay driven.